Harry likes to shake the Chuckers bowl every afternoon. And he's figured out how to shake it and make the corn fall out. You figured it out, didn't you, Harry? Sally just kind of sits back and watches. But the Chucker always leaves just a little bit of food every afternoon. I try to adjust the amount, and she still manages to waste a little bit. So Harry finishes it off. You gonna get that corn? What do you think about that, Sally? I am ready to plant some onions right here in this spot. So that is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to smooth this out just a little bit. It's just still a little bit bumpy. And then I'm going to plant right here. I don't know exactly how far down. I need to measure because I'm also going to do tomatoes and peppers in the same bed, and at the very end right here, which is a very small spot, I'm going to do the cucumbers. 2 cucumber plants right here for pickling. So somewhere between the edge of that trellis and way up here is I've got to fit 2 more vegetables, so I need to be careful how far down I go with the onions. So I need to measure that first, get this smoothed out. Okay, that onion bed is done, and now I'm going to go down here and plant these cucumbers right quick. And these are Boston pickling cucumbers. Once they get a little bigger, they'll start throwing out their runners, and then they will climb that trellis. All right, so we are building the last of the beds right here. I'm going to do one more bed. I got some wood here. We're going to put this thing together. Yeah, just barely go under it. Okay, yeah. Okay, and then same thing on the other side. We're going to go right in front of this grass right here. So let me just scoop up. Move some of this out. Huh?
You sure of all of it?
No, no, it's just okay, one more of those. Thank you, sir. All right, and that's potting soil on top, and that bed is now ready. All right, I'm going to go in here in the greenhouse and get the peppers. I'm going to go ahead and plant these peppers this afternoon. So these are looking better. They're getting stronger now. They're coming back. I got, put these in these bigger pots, and that helps out. So I'm going to get these peppers and plant them in the garden. I believe this is the pepperoncini. That is the pepperoncini. That's going in a different spot. These are just going to be bell peppers that are going out there. And they're going to go in this spot right here with these 3 cages. Right there. And you see the cucumbers are doing well. These have just been in a few days now, but basil. And the onions are starting to come up. You see the onions already coming up. Okay, so there we go with those. So those are all bell peppers, a little bit different breeds of bell peppers. This is I think this is that's the California Wonder. So those are basically the big bell peppers. These are candy apple sweets, and those are the sweet great stuffers. So those are 2 big breeds in the back, and this one up front is like supposed to be a sweeter variety. So we'll see how those do. And then right here is where the tomatoes are going to go. And these onions that started sprouting that are coming up are less than a week in the ground, and they're coming up. So I got yellow, onions right there in the front, or the back 2 rows. And then these ones that are coming up, these are the sweet onions. 2 rows there, and then 2 rows of the reds up front. Okay, I want to get these tomato plants planted. So this one is the Steakhouse Hybrid. So that's supposed to be a big tomato. And then this one, oh yeah, this is the super sauce. So this is going to be like aroma tomato, but bigger. So it's supposed to be a bigger variety of aroma. This one, this is Burpee's own Super Steak Hybrid. So this is another, supposed to be really, really big tomato. And then this is the trusty cherry tomato plant. It's the same type we got last year. It did really well. And then I still need to plant this pepperoncini, so we get that in this basil planted also. So I'm going to put the Steakhouse tomato right there. I'm going to put the Burpee Hybrid right there. I'm going to put the super sauce Roma tomato right in the middle. I also need to move these basils. I don't know why I thought that was a good spot. I need to put those basils behind the tomatoes. We wanted to plant them with the tomatoes, but they actually become pretty large bushes. So we need to put those back there where they can spread out and not block our tomatoes. Okay, so why did we choose doing mail order plants this year? Okay, so this is the story behind the reasoning that we looked at. So if you go on to Burpee's website, they sell seeds, they sell plants, they sell flower. It's flowers, vegetables, everything. They have everything on there. So you can go to Lowe's, or you can go to your local feed store and get plants. You can also get homegrown plants from people, places like Trade Day and flea markets and swap meets and so forth. However, the variety is where this comes into play. So they have, like, I don't know, 20 different varieties of bell peppers. There's even more than that, different types of tomatoes. And there was stuff that I could not find locally, like the pepperoncini pepper. And so that's why I decided to go this route. There was a little bit, there was an increase in price because there's shipping involved. That's something that you have to take into account. They do run specials. This particular special that I got was 3 for $20, the plants, 3 plants for $20. So that's pretty close to what Lowe's is getting per plant. So it's a little bit more, but the variety is the reason why we decided to do it. Now, would we do this again? Maybe, but there's a good variety around here locally as well. But I couldn't find pepperoncini peppers, and that's what started the search. And then after that, I just said, well, if I'm going to do these bundles, we could do the same for roughly the same price through Burpee. So that's why we did it. They had some of their some of the stuff that they offer is their name brand stuff too, like Burpee's hybrid stuff they've come up with, and some of those are interesting to look at. So I tried some of this first one that we're doing right here is actually the Super Steak Hybrid, which is Burpee's own hybrid. So these are supposed to be really, really big tomatoes, big slicing variety. So decided to try this out. I'm doing this super sauce hybrid, which is supposed to be a large variety of Roma tomato. Doing that right here in the middle. This one's, you know, a little bit on the weak side, so I'm gonna have to kind of baby this one a little bit. And then the last one down here is the steakhouse hybrid, and this is supposed to be another large variety of tomato. For slicing. So essentially what we're trying to do this year is the best of both worlds. So we're gonna have slicing tomatoes for sandwiches and things, but we're also gonna have some for the making sauce, which is one of the things we like to do with our tomatoes. And I went ahead and moved those basils to the back as well. I have one more basil plant we may put here in the front where I just moved those from. It's a little bit smaller type of basil. Those will get really big, bushy. So now these tomatoes are planted. This middle one I'm gonna have to kind of take my time with and make sure that it's healthy. It's just a little saggy, but the rest of them are good. So this garden, this bed is completely planted now. So once again, cucumbers on the end here. And then these are our peppers, 3 different types of bell peppers. Basil's in the back, 3 different types of tomatoes. And then the rest of this is onions. I showed this yesterday, but here's a little look at that today. They're coming up. There's 6 rows in here. So those are coming along nicely. So this bed is complete. Now I just need to get that pepperoncini pepper planted and that basil planted, and that's it. We are finished. Okay, so the last plant that I have to plant here is our pepperoncini Greek pepper. And I'm gonna do it in a container, just like this, just like we did with this tomato. We did this same type of tomato. This is that Sweet 100 cherry tomato. We did the same thing last year. We put it in a pot like this. It did really well. So we ordered one for this year and we're doing it again. And I'm gonna do the same thing with this pepperoncini pepper. This container right here. I'm gonna add some peat moss to this, mix that up, and get that planted. Okay, I'm going to put this over here. We're actually going to keep this up on the deck. And put that right there. This cage, I usually use this cage every year for the peppers. This doesn't fit on here. It just hangs off the edge. I'm going to leave that there until I can get a smaller one. Or I still have a few of those wooden trellises left too I could put around it, but I'll just leave that there so nothing bumps into it, and then we'll get that changed out soon. Planting is officially over. We have planted everything that we're going to plant this year. We might, throw a few flowers here and there from time to time, but all of the vegetables are completely done. This onion bed is looking good. The tomatoes right here. basil behind it. I've got sweet basil, 2 of them back there, and then I have a summer-long basil right here in the end. A little bit smaller leaf variety. Then the peppers, the cucumbers. That old compost pile we turned into a flower bed, so there's just a whole bunch of wildflowers that are going to pop up in that. Also brought up this pot that I'm going to put some flowers in eventually, or maybe a palm or something. Then here we have the dill bed, the cilantro bed, the strawberry bed. This ended up being turned into another flower bed. And that's got forget-me-nots and hollyhocks in it. And then up on the porch, we've got 1 tomato plant and 1 pepper plant up there. Some more wildflowers. Those actually have come back. This is the 3rd year those have come back there. Some ivy from last year. This is new. Sebum. Or sedum. Sedum is what I meant to say. This stuff right here. That is a transplant from this mother plant, which is chocolate mint. And that's a new chocolate mint. Some petunias out here. We got these. These are the begonias. We usually do begonias every year. Boston ferns. Here is those hollyhocks. That's what I put up there. And forget-me-nots in that bed next to the in the bed next to the greenhouse. And then there, that is the mix, the wildflower mix that I put up in the compost pile. Okay, and then out here, peppermint, oregano. We're going to put some seeds or plants or something in the rest of that at some point. And then here is that pepper plant and that cherry tomato plant. So everything's doing great. And I'll be updating as this stuff grows.